Hello guys, welcome back to today's daily. Let's take a nice deep breath. Always a good start to settle into your body with a couple nice deep breaths and really join me here in this space together in presence. So today we are going to talk about muscle testing and, anything to do with the body and using the body as our most amazing and practical tool is my favorite, whether it's breathing or muscle testing. You always have everything you need right here within you. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on muscle testing. Hopefully you have some background on this. Kinesiology is a whole big subject, and I'm not going to go into the beginner parts of it, but it's where we use our body as the tool to give us a yes or no. The body intuitively is connected to all consciousness. It's connected to your true essence, all that is. It has its own consciousness, and the body knows true from false. It just does. So a lot of practitioners use muscle testing, and a lot of really beautiful embodied masters, leaders have talked about muscle testing through the ages. If you've ever even watched Donna Eden's Energy Medicine, she uses muscle testing. So a lot of holistic practitioners, it's a fantastic way to get an absolute yes or no. And you can do it with your own body. And it's been one of my favorite tools for years to get a yes or no. For many years, I used it for food, exercise, things like that. I don't really need it for my body anymore because the body's really good now at communicating with me. So the more we learn to connect with our own bodies, connect and get that information, that yes or no, the more we build that relationship, just like connecting and communing with yourself, your spirit, your essence, your higher consciousness, whatever, through breath, through awareness, even through talking, through journaling, we build that relationship. So the same thing happens with your body. And over the years, I took the muscle testing from the sway test of getting a yes or no into feeling. And I have another video in the Clarity series where I talk about this, where you get a yes or no. For myself, I feel a yes as a big opening, an expansion, and a no is very clear as a contraction. Everything just pulls inward as a no. But that is for you to explore within yourself, getting a yes or a no and what that feels like for you. So the information available on muscle testing is very helpful to give you guidelines and things like that. If you Google it, you can find very practical, easy steps. But the really important part here, and what I want to talk about today is, it's about going beyond the mind into your higher consciousness, if you will, the truth, what truly serves you in each moment. And so a lot of times you're going to be getting conflicting information. At one point it was super easy because we were listening to one voice, the voice of the ego that just said, survive, do this, do that, react. You didn't really have to listen because you were just in constant state of reaction mode, right? And then through awakening, it becomes really tricky because you're like, wow, all these conditioning, hypnotic, patterned responses aren't me. Or all this stuff I've been doing, when I stop and think about it, it came from my parents or the teachers or society or whatever. And so much of it is harsh, and survival's like that, right? So through muscle testing, it is a wonderful, wonderful way to just cut through the BS, right? To cut through those times when we don't know which is our voice and which is the voice of the ego. As you go through waves of integration, you're going to have that voice of yours, that inner knowing, be more clear and less clear. So it's not like, oh gosh, I've I've reached the mountaintop. I've had that feeling so many times, like, God, it's so clear. Like, I just know what to do, when to do it, why I'm doing it. That information is just all right here for me. And then maybe a month or 6 months later, it's like, gosh, I can't get a clear read on this thing. That's totally normal, and that's to be expected. Whether you're going through big waves of integrating aspects in areas of your life that have been shut down, like, for example, if you've said no to relationships, I'm going to be my own beloved, I am my own beloved, I know that truly there's one person who's always with me, and that's me, my essence, my spirit. And then at some point on your journey, you say, okay, I'm willing to, I feel so connected within myself now, I'm willing to open that door. Well, poof, you're going to find a whole bunch of aspects have been off sleeping in the corners because you weren't in that part of your life. You were not participating in that area of life. So we go through different integrations depending on what we're willing to step into, what adventures we're willing to explore and say yes to. And that I've found in all different areas: work, travel, adventure, friendships, relationships, etc. So just know that at times you might feel like, whoa, I'm as clear as a bell. And other times it's like, well, what's going on here? So how to get that answer though, when you really want to know, like, I just want to do what is the best for me. Is what I'm feeling true? Is this, is this me or is it the ego? And sometimes you'll get those conflicting feelings when a lot of aspects have been awakened and they're coming in for integration. Or also, depending who you're around, maybe your external situation, if you are living with other people or traveling, or you're doing some kind of work where you're really busy out in the world and you're just around all these other energies all the time, and it's like, gosh, just need to take a breath and get clear. So muscle testing is wonderful for that. Okay, so going beyond what I said, with the sway test, and there's all different tests you can do out there, but ultimately I came to a point within my own body where I could just feel a yes or a no, an opening or a closing. And for the most part now, I feel and hear and know the yes simultaneously. I might get a visual thing, it's all aligned, it's all perfect, woohoo, I'm clear. But there are still times where it's like, gosh, wait, is that me or is that me? So I want to share with you a nice thing about going beyond the mind. So typically when we muscle test, we ask a question, we make a statement. Okay, so let's just use an example. I'm going to use my own example. So recently, coming off of summer, coming back, starting fall here, and I'm getting back to work. I got a lot of new programs that I'm starting and new things with my family as well. And, school is starting, everything's shifting. And so all the schedules are different. I've started to get up in the morning early with this knowing, we'll say, that it was going to be beneficial to wake up earlier, do some stretching and breathing in bed, do some stretching before I even leave my bedroom, get down on the floor, stretch it out, breathe, have a good, 15, 20, 30 minutes of stretching in the morning before I even come down and get my coffee. And then setting some schedule for myself so that I do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever it is, all within the first few hours, and have that done so the rest of my day can get on. And, because we're not in patterns anymore, it can be hard to accomplish physical tasks, at least I've found, unless I write them down and just say, this is what I'm going to do, and just knock this out, because I just know it needs to be done every day. And otherwise I'll start breathing and doing nothing, and it'll be like 2 hours have gone by and I won't even realize it. So that is just for me personally. That might not apply for you. But starting this stretching routine in the morning, it's like very quickly my mind went into like, well, if we're doing that, we should just be working out a lot more. How about we just, throw in a hot yoga class in the morning? And this old pattern of you know, if something is good, then more of it is better, right? If this is good, then we need to do more. It's just an old 3D, old energy pattern that's very common in survival and lack. Little bit's good, more is better. Let's go, let's go. And especially with exercise, right? There's so much of that in the air in the mass consciousness. So I was going, okay, should I be exercising? I mean, I'm already stretching for like half an hour a day, and I usually walk for an hour or more every day. And so I decided to do some muscle testing this morning, and that's what led me here. And it's funny because I tested twice and I got 2 different answers. And when I do that, then what I like to do is take the mind completely out of it. So the mind doesn't know the question. It only gets the answer. So what I like to do is take some little sheets of paper. So I've got 6 sheets of paper here. You can use whatever you want. This is just my little trick, but maybe it will inspire you to do something similar if you ever find your mind getting involved. And of course, to take the mind out, you can turn your eyes up, focus right up here, bring your brain into theta. I believe that takes like 7 seconds or something. Within seconds, I feel everything relaxing and going out of kind of the scanner. The thinker is gone pretty much instantly. But in this case, what you do is you write your thing on your paper. So muscle testing, we make a statement. So I would say something like, it is in my highest and best good to, or it is coming from my highest consciousness to do this, you know. And so it's exercise more. And then this one might be to just get up and do the same morning routine, and so on and so forth. And it might be to take this new job, to start this new relationship, to create a business, to connect with this person, to go visit this person, to travel, to ... These things where we tend to wobble and wonder, where's this coming from? So once you put it on the paper, you can just fold it up or turn it over or whatever, and then do your muscle testing from there. So you mix them up, and the mind has no idea, but your consciousness knows. So the mind doesn't really get an idea of what question is being asked. This is my favorite way to do it when I get into tough situations, because we just cut out the middleman, the guy who's in the middle making everything polarized, right? We just take him out and just say, show me the truth. So if you're a little bit iffy on it, another thing that you can do is take these, and maybe, you know, I've got 6 here. Maybe you take 3 of them and you write yes. And then you take 3 of them and you write no, just for the sake of getting a clear answer, just for playing with your own consciousness, just for connecting with your body, for building that relationship. You can do this for no purpose other than having a clear yes and no within you, so that throughout your days as you're walking, you know, I typically experience as I'm walking, talking, interacting, I can just ask myself, is this a yes or no? Is this in my highest and best good? I just pause and ask when I'm like, should I go this way or not? Take a conscious breath and make that choice. I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling off about this. Is this in my highest and best good? And I'll usually get a visual now, and up or down, a feeling, the expansion, all kind of integrated together. But there are things that arise where I've still got split consciousness, where it's not all in alignment. So having that clear yes or no, knowing what it feels like in your body, it's a godsend. So you can just take the yes and feel the yes. You can look at it and see what a yes feels like. Oh, okay. Oh, show me what a no feels like. I used to do this for hours. Show me what a yes feels like. Oh, show me what a no feels like. Oh, okay, totally, I got it. And then I would do that. I mean, for years I played with that very consistently, so that I could just have that instantaneous knowing. But then to test myself, I would write it on paper and then boop, this is a yes, that's a no. I just toss them to one side. Yes is over here, no's over there. And then I'd open them all up. Oh, look at all the yeses are on the yes pile and all the no's are on the no pile. You know, relationships are usually considered like with other people, right? People, pets, nature, food, money, whatever. But the most important relationship is really the clarity within yourself. The communion with, of, and as yourself, whether that is, again, talking, feeling, sensing, journaling, but getting the confirmation that you are in clear communion with yourself is one of the most beautiful things. You know, we talk about self-trust a lot, trusting yourself, trusting the universe, trusting in life. Well, how wonderful is it when you can confirm that inner connectedness, that inner knowingness with yourself and have a physical confirmation? Then you don't have to have trust as some lofty, fluffy thing that's like, oh, I just trust that I'm doing the right thing. Well, confirm it. You know, get very grounded in your approach to knowing that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. Doesn't mean you're going to know why you're doing it always. A lot of times I know I'm doing this and I don't know where it's going. I know I'm doing it because it's joyful. I know this is what I love doing. I know I enjoy this. I don't know where it's going to go because I'm not controlling the outcomes. But having that knowing in yourself and that connectedness to where you're so clear as to your own yeses or nos, it's like the most solid inner feeling, the way to feel the most solid, and call it safe. I don't think that's the right word, but just having that trust in yourself, that you're always able to navigate life in the direction that's going to best complement you. So I encourage you to play with this. If you don't have that clear connection within yourself, why not? Really, it's just you connecting with you, you feeling, you playing with your consciousness, your body, and that's the other most important relationship we have, our body, our mind, because, you know, having a clear connection with your body and your mind just makes your life a heck of a lot more fun and enjoyable. So, thank you so much for joining me today for this daily download. Namaste.